Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt completely cornered, where no matter what you said, the other person just talked over you, louder and more aggressively, until you just gave up? Picture this. You're in a heated discussion, and instead of getting louder, you deliver one calm sentence. The other person stops, their tone changes, and suddenly they have nothing left to say. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful phrases designed to do just that: disarm conflict and leave the other person speechless. If topics like this would help you become a better, stronger, and more confident person, then tap like and subscribe. It will allow you to see more videos like this, and it truly helps me grow this small new channel more than you may think. Thank you. These phrases work whether you're dealing with a demanding supervisor, a stubborn relative, or anyone trying to bulldoze you. They don't just defend you, they put you in a position of quiet authority. And you'll want to pay close attention to the third one. It's a master key for shutting down manipulators. Stick around to the end, because after learning these, you'll be ready to apply them and witness the powerful silence that follows. We have all felt that immense frustration. You are presenting a point that is logical and important, but the person you're speaking to refuses to hear it. Worse, they seem to be winning the argument, not with reason, but with volume, interruptions, or personal attacks. Our culture often mistakes loudness for strength, but this is merely intimidation, not respect. Genuine power isn't about forcing your opinion on others. It's about conveying your thoughts with such composure and precision that others are compelled to listen. This is where the ancient wisdom of the Stoics becomes a modern-day superpower. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught that true control comes from mastering your own reactions, not from trying to manage the world around you. When you stay calm while someone else is raging, you aren't being passive, you're showing absolute self-mastery. And the person who masters themselves masters the situation. Your tranquility is your strength. Every response we will cover is built upon this principle, giving you the tools to protect your dignity with grace and silence your most difficult opponents. Response number 1. Let's talk when we can do it respectfully. Some discussions aren't discussions at all. They are ambushes disguised as dialogue. The other person talks over you, dismisses your points, and demands that you accept their version of the truth. You are never obligated to participate in a hostile exchange. This phrase isn't a retreat. It's a standard you're setting. Imagine you're trying to reason with someone who continually interrupts you. Their tone has become aggressive, and the tension is rising. Instead of feeding into it, you take a breath and calmly state, "Let's talk when we can do it respectfully." Instantly, the focus of the conversation changes. It's no longer about the topic at hand. It's about the basic requirement of mutual respect needed for any meaningful dialogue. You aren't running from the conflict. You are elevating the rules of engagement. According to the teachings of Epictetus, this response is a sign of true self-mastery. He argued that while you can't control the actions of others, you have absolute control over what you choose to tolerate. By using this phrase, you are clearly defining your boundaries. You establish a line that forces the other person to examine their own behavior and, very often, to go silent. Because anyone who cannot speak with respect forfeits the right to speak with you. Response number 2. The way you speak says more about you than it does about me. When someone attacks you with insults, sarcasm, or disdain, the natural impulse is to fire back. But engaging in that exchange is a losing battle. This phrase acts like a flawless mirror. It doesn't meet aggression with more aggression. It simply reflects the other person's behavior back at them. Picture this. You're in a discussion and someone makes a cutting remark designed to destabilize you. You could retaliate, but instead you hold their gaze calmly and say, "The way you speak says more about you than it does about me." With this single sentence, you neutralize the poison in their words. You aren't insulting them or desperately defending yourself. You are simply refusing to play their game. An interesting thing happens. They are forced to process their own statement, and in that moment of reflection, they feel the impact of their own negativity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This response is a perfect embodiment of that wisdom. You preserve your own inner peace while compelling the other person to confront their lack of respect. When you defy their expectation of a reaction, you rewrite the script of the conversation, and by doing so, you take control. Response number 3, I don't need to raise my voice to be right. There are moments in a discussion when the other person gets louder, assuming that volume grants them authority. They shout and interrupt, expecting you to join their chaotic energy. But the moment you engage in a shouting match, you've already lost. This phrase is a graceful way to refuse the noise while staying in the conversation. Imagine a tense meeting at work or a family disagreement. The other person's voice is rising, attempting to dominate the room. Instead of matching their intensity, you remain composed and state calmly, "I don't need to raise my voice to be right." This line does more than just halt their aggression. It sends a powerful signal. You refuse to compete on a field of emotional chaos. You operate on a higher plane of logic and control. In that moment, the other person is forced to recognize that the dynamic has shifted. You are no longer just arguing. You are now leading the interaction. The Stoics believed that self-control is the ultimate sign of strength. As Epictetus noted, anyone who cannot govern their own tongue is a slave to their emotions. This response perfectly demonstrates that idea. You don't need to shout because your reasoning is sound. Your confidence is enough. This phrase not only quiets the person yelling, but also shows everyone else watching who truly holds the power. Response number 4. That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. Not every disagreement is with an adversary. Sometimes the most challenging conversations are with friends, colleagues, or loved ones who insist that their way is the only way. They might mean well, but they end up violating your personal boundaries. For these situations, you need a phrase that is both respectful and firm. This response doesn't create conflict. It creates clarity. It is a simple way of saying, "I understand your position, but my own judgment is different." Imagine a person close to you is pressuring you to make a choice you're not comfortable with, or to adopt a belief that isn't yours. Instead of getting into a lengthy debate or just staying quiet to keep the peace, you tell them with a calm and steady voice, "That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it." What happens next is remarkable. The other person is left with no room to argue because you haven't attacked their view. You have simply asserted your own. The philosopher Seneca said, "To be a slave to the opinion of others is the worst of all prisons." This phrase is your key to freedom from that prison. It is a graceful declaration that you think for yourself and do not require anyone else's approval to do so. Response number 5. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. There are times when any further discussion is utterly futile. The other person has no interest in listening or understanding. They only want to win, even if it means being hurtful. In these moments, this phrase is your ultimate protection. It is direct, clear, and incredibly effective. It doesn't ask for agreement or offer a long explanation. It simply brings the negativity to a full stop. Suppose you're in a conversation with someone who seems determined to provoke you. Every word feels like a calculated jab, and you can feel your composure slipping. Instead of losing your cool, you take a breath, look at them calmly and say, "I'd prefer not to continue this conversation." The effect is immediate. It severs the toxic connection right at the source. More importantly, it puts control right back in your hands. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." When you choose to end the conversation, you are choosing to protect your own energy and dignity. This isn't about surrender. It's a conscious decision that your peace of mind is more valuable than winning a pointless argument. And anyone who witnesses this understands that you are not avoiding conflict. You are rising above it. You now have 5 powerful responses that will not only defend you, but also empower you. 5 phrases that, when delivered with calm confidence, will make the other person fall silent. Not through defeat, but through a display of superior character. Because true respect is never won by force. It is earned through integrity. Let's review them one last time. Let's talk when we can do it respectfully. The way you speak says more about you than it does about me. I don't need to raise my voice to be right. That's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. I'd prefer not to continue this conversation. Don't underestimate the impact of these simple phrases. As you begin to use them, you will notice that people listen to you more intently and treat you with more consideration. You will no longer be an easy target for manipulation or provocation. You will be someone who has presence, control, and a voice that commands respect. On this channel, we teach you how to think and act with wisdom to build a life of greater peace, confidence, and inner strength. Subscribe and enable notifications because our upcoming videos will continue to guide you on this transformative path. Now, tell me in the comments, which of these phrases will you use first? I look forward to reading your responses.